Hello my friends, my name is Lindsay. I run the vlog Books for Christian Girls. Welcome to or welcome back to the little corner of the internet where I talk mainly about Christian fiction and clean fiction. Today is just going to be a chill little chatty video with y'all as I organize my bookshelves. If you have noticed in the last few videos, they've been a disaster and they just keep getting more of a disaster because I keep pulling books for Instagram pictures and stories and then I don't put them back because it's already such a disaster. So we're going to work on that today, but while we do that, I am also going to be answering y'all's Q&A questions. I actually filmed part of this a couple weeks ago when I organized my physical TBR, and I don't know when I'm going to throw that in. Should we start off with that maybe? Should we start with that? Those were all of the questions y'all asked on the YouTube community post I sent out. So you know what, let's do that, and then we will catch up with the rest of my bookshelf. Hello my friends, this is Lindsay from another day. I'm actually filming this first. I don't feel up to tackling the big bookshelf, so we're going to work on my little TBR area because it feels like a disaster to me. So we're going to work on that in this little part, and I'm going to answer some of y'all's questions here. Excuse the appearance. I've been up for way too many hours. My mom had appointments today, like doctor's appointments, so we had to run out and do that. And I'm trying to fight the urge to take a nap. So I thought we'd be productive and we're going to organize. So we're going to organize. This is my physical TBR. This big stack, this double stack shelf, the books here in front, the books here in front, that shelf that's double stacked, that shelf that's double stacked, the front books in this one, and some of the ones in there. I really need to stop buying books. Or I just need to read the ones I own. There's an idea. So we're going to organize all that. I'm going to have to get to it all. But I want to answer one of y'all's questions first. Okay, so to start us off with a question, though, I love this question. I mean, I love all y'all's questions, but like this one has me really excited to answer. And it's from Molly, and it says, are there any books that have stayed a favorite since the beginning of BFCG? And yes, so BFCG, Books for Christian Girls, started back in 2013. And it was started because the Lord placed it on my heart, but it was also started because I had read some really good Christian YA books, and I wanted more. I wanted to find more that were like that, because I also had read some major duds, to say the least. So the Christy Miller series, particularly like the original Christy series by Robin Jones Gunn, has been a favorite. And then, you know, interestingly enough, I first found Melody Carlson. And I read a ton of her books. Some I like more than others. I still have like a nostalgic part of my heart loves The Carter House Girls and On the Runway. Even though when I reread them a handful of years ago, they were like so teen drama filled and like fashion and boys and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, I really don't care about any of that. But at the time I adored that one. So it still has a little bit of that nostalgic love in my heart for that series. But I found her, and then on my library's website, they had recommendations for, oh, if you like this, you may like others. And I'm pretty sure that's how I found the Christy Miller series, the original Christy Miller series by Robin Jones Gunn. And then Roadside Assistance, that trilogy by Amy Clipson, it was just one book then. And then I know I waited for the third book to come out, and that was, I think, in 2014, if I remember right. Editing Lindsay will check. I don't want to get up and check. And then the Anomaly trilogy. Oh, Krista McGee's books, obviously. Yes, Krista McGee's books. Her contemporary books, and then the dystopian trilogy of Anomaly. I'm pretty sure I was around when that third book released. I think I was like just reading the series and then the third book released, and it was like perfect timing. If I remember right, that was a long time ago. So those, the Krista McGee First Date starring me right where I belong, the original Christy Miller series would be, and then Roadside Assistance. I liked the other two ones for the Roadside Assistance trilogy. I need to reread those. I'm hoping when I'm in a contemporary YA mood and like in a rereading mood, I can reread those because it's been so long since I've read those. But I would say those books, and then if we're gonna go nostalgic, I would say that. Prior wise, honestly, all I can remember is the Christian YA. I can't remember like Christian historical fiction. I know I liked Jane Austen, but I don't remember if I found her after BFCG or before BFCG. At the beginning of BFCG, I know. Carrie Taransky, oh man, Carrie Taransky, that was the first ever ARC copy of a book I got, like the actual ARC that says like, this is not for resale, this is an advanced reader copy on the back of it, was The Governess of Highland Hall, which I got, that released I think October or November of 2013. That was my first ever advanced reader copy. And so like BFCG started April, officially was public April. I had started gathering up books and reviews and that kind of thing a few months prior. I think I started that in February. And so that was just really exciting to like have a publisher send me a book. That was like mind-blowing to me. And I adore that series. I was hoping to reread it last year, but I hadn't. But that's honestly the only one for Christian historical fiction, I would say, for since the beginning, that I vividly remember. I did also really like Anne Mateer's books, her 4 books, particularly At Every Turn. And I reread that one a handful of years later. I liked the whole NASCAR scene when I was a teen, so that was probably part of that reason. But yeah, those are some of those. I love that question. Thank you for letting me go down memory lane. Okay, so now let's move some things around and then I'll answer another question. Oh, this is just like a link. Okay, so yeah, we've got a lot of books here. I've got stickers because I've been in my reading journal. Oh my goodness, y'all should see the, did y'all hear that pop? That was my hip. Okay, I'm old, that's nice. This side of my room and my desk is just covered in stationery and stuff. I gotta organize all that, but I'm gonna do that off camera. Look at this. Have y'all read The Lost Prince by Frances Hodgson Burnett? I'm looking forward to reading this one this year. I haven't read it. And then The Little Lord, what's it? I haven't found an edition I like of that book yet. Like, they didn't do it, and let's talk about this. This is the Frances Hodgson Burnett Essentials Collection, and I'm pretty sure they didn't do that book, so what's up with that? I don't know. Like, are we just considering, like, the essentials of The Lost Prince, The Secret Garden, and A Little Princess? I guess so, because what about the other one? Yeah, what about the other one? So my system for my physical TBR has always been by genre, because I am such a mood reader. And that is usually how it goes. I do have, like, this is a stack of books I want to get to soon. So we're going to have that there. And then, like, yeah, that's by genre. But I want to try to keep out the ones I think I'm going to read soon. So, like, the rest of the, I don't remember what this series, the Sinclair Mysteries. I'm just read book 1 earlier here in January. I'm filming this at the end of January. I don't know when this video is going up. I need to film my favorite books of 2024, and that needs to be posted. And then I've got a book haul, and then I've got maybe this one. I think I might do it that order, or this and the book haul will flip, and I don't know, so you'll find out by the cards that pop up in the corner. Hey, okay. If you're wondering why I have tissue paper, crafting reasons. Okay, we've somewhat moved things around, so let's go with another question. Gracie asked, what is your favorite book you've ever read? That's a mean question, Gracie. That's very mean. I'm going to assume you mean a specific genre, because like if we're talking favorite book, obviously the Bible, and if we're going to say within the Bible, I love Galatians and Philippians. I'm going to say those two for that. But then fiction books, okay, we got to go like down the umbrella little family tree looking thing. That's a mean question. Okay, while I organize and get closer to where we need to be, I'll pop some up on screen. We will do that because I have too many that I like. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Okay, we're going to zoom y'all in. Hello. Okay, we have gotten to it. These are my Christmas books. I kind of want to put these somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't like having my Christmas books mixed in with my normal books. I don't know where I could put these. I would like this space for something else. Maybe I can move these somewhere. Keywords being somewhere. Alright, we'll figure that out later. Oh, you see the dying plant. Ha ha ha. Don't pay attention to the dying plant, please. Susanna is asking, what are some cute, clean fairy tale retellings you've read besides Melanie Dickerson and Melanie Sellier? Thank you for the prayers too, Susanna. I really appreciate that. I am very excited to answer this question. I want to do recommendations, I think, soon for my favorite fairy tale retellings I've read, because I've read a lot of those lately. But let's see. Okay, Sarah Baran. I have been enjoying her books so much, particularly Callie and the Pumpkin Seed, and then the companion novella. And then Chords of Green and Gold, My Fair Mermaid, A Bond of Ice and Sunshine. Those 3. And then the 4th book of that series is coming out. And oh, so cute. If you love a good pun, have fun. They are so cute. Callie and the Pumpkin Seed was adorable. She also has 2 Christmas books. The Silent Night, which is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. And then To Crack a Soldier, which is the Nutcracker, but kind of like gender swapped, flipped, whatever it is. So cute. And then, I'm trying to think like cute. The definition of cute in my word is definitely those. But then I also really liked The Silent Prince by C.J. Brightly. That was a Little Mermaid retelling, but gender swapped. Really fun, very humorous. Maybe not cute, but like really humorous and very just amusing. And then The Wicked Prince by Celeste Baxendale, I think is how you pronounce the author's name. Really liked that one as well. That is a Robin Hood, but also gender swapped, and it was so much fun. And just as a bonus, Melanie Sellier's newest book, Legacy of Roses, phenomenal. Enjoyed that one so much. And let's see, Deborah Grace White. I'm done. As of filming this, I am now done with her books for her fairy tale retelling lines. I'm going to maybe check out her other ones. But she has the Kingdom Tales, which is 6 books. It starts with Kingdom of Beauty. That was really good. That was a very cute, very kind of classic style series for the fairy tale retellings. I would suggest reading them in order, but my favorite was book 2, Kingdom of Slumber, which is Sleeping Beauty. And then book 4, I'm double checking. Kingdom of Feathers was book 4, and that was a Wild Swans retelling. I really liked that. I honestly, I can't tell you which series of hers I like better, the Kingdom Tales or the Singer Tales, I think was the Singer Tales. I can't remember the series name. I just finished that one though. And at first, the first 2 books, I was like, okay, this isn't I like it, but it's not phenomenal to me. I like it, and I'm going to continue on, and I'm really glad I continued on, because the 3rd book of that was the retelling of East of the Sun, West of the Moon. I'm already directionally challenged. My lefts and rights, I didn't get that down till I was 14. So, I think that's the title. But that was the 3rd book, and I really enjoyed that. That is my new favorite version of that tale. Now, mind you, I've only read 3, but pish posh on that. And then book 4 was Little Red Riding Hood. I liked that one well enough. I think I've given them all at least a 3.5. The Kingdom's Tales, I've given everyone at least a 4. So, if you're going to compare rating, I guess I like the Kingdom Tales more. But that was very much the classic kind of, I won't say Disney, but kind of that more classic style, where with the Singer Tales, you've got the magic system that is based around music, and some people have it, some don't, and you've got elves and giants. So honestly, I would say those that want something along the lines of Keeper of the Lost Cities before it went questionable, that series would probably really interest you, because I was reading that, I was like, this really reminds me of that, but in the better ways, in my opinion. And so with the Singer Tales, I liked book 4 well enough, but then book 5 and 6 were really, book 6 was so good. Book 4 was Song of Trails, and that was a Hansel and Gretel retelling, which I don't think I've read any of those before, and I really liked how the author did it, and the sibling connection was just, all the siblings in that series were particularly great, in my opinion. The first one was Snow White, and she's got a half-sister, which I'd never read Snow White with a sibling element to it, and I really liked how that worked out. The second one was a Little Mermaid, and they weren't great. They were probably the only siblings that weren't great. They cared about her, but they were, you know how Little Mermaid is, and she's just I want to be where the people are, and they're thingamabobs and thingamajigs, So there's that. But then the rest of the series had great sibling content, and that was just lovely, especially in book 5 and 6. And book 6 was my favorite. I gave that one 4.5 stars. But this is a series all of these books, Melanie Sellier, Deborah Grace White, read them in series order is going to be my recommendation. I know I should be giving you more standalones, but I've been reading a lot of series. The Silent Prince, The Wicked Prince, Those are standalones, unfortunately. Maybe that's it for right now. I'm trying to think. I'm also looking at like the ones I need to organize. So we'll be talking about those. And recent reads y'all have already seen by this point. Y'all should have already seen them by now. Oh yeah, I've got to post that recent reads. I don't know when these videos are coming up, so you know better than I do. So let's organize a little bit. So this is kind of like suspense in the back, cozy mystery up front, and then I've got contemporary. Hello, what was that for? Oh, this plant looks pitiful. I should have took care of this off camera before y'all saw it. Y'all can't really see what I'm doing, I apologize. But basically I'm just reorganizing stuff, trying to get things to fit. I don't like double stacking my books. Like, that's a huge no-no in my brain. It's not what I prefer to do, but that is the case when you have too big of a TBR. Like me. I still haven't read this series yet. One day. One day, maybe. I don't know. Everyone's always like, Lindsey, you're going to like it. But then I've had a couple of y'all say, Lindsey, you're not going to like it because of XYZ. And those XYZ reasons seem like really, get in there. Feel like really reasonable reasons. So I'm concerned. I do want to get to this Lynn H. Blackburn series at some point. Keywords being at some point. I am totally ignoring all these books on my TBR. Ignoring them. I am fully just going, hello, what's on my Kindle? Oh, cute fairy tale retellings, thank you. I will take those. Yeah. This is historical, and then this is all clean Regency, which I would like a better setup for that, but that's probably not going to happen. I don't know how to do that as a better setup. I do have, though, other books, though, we need to rearrange. I didn't give y'all a before, but y'all saw the disaster. We'll do close-ups for the final stretch of it. Let's answer another question. How about? Okay, Riley asked, what is your favorite era to read about in historical fiction? Are there any historical eras or cultures you don't see often in fiction but would love to see more of? Okay, and then I'll come back to her other question. For historical fiction, my favorite era, if you will, would be the early 1900s, like 1880 to 1910 maybe. I don't know what it is about that time period. Preferably in a big city. That is the time period I really like. The Gilded Age, if you will, the turn of the century. I don't know, because we're starting to get like the modern conveniences of like indoor plumbing and electricity, and then the telegraphs and telephones and elevators. I love seeing that, and like whenever I see pictures of history, oh yeah, and obviously, you know, cameras, gotta love that. So whenever I see like pictures or paintings of history, that is always the time period that I'm just most enthralled with. So that is definitely my favorite time period to read about in historical fiction. And then, are there any historical eras or cultures you don't see often in fiction but would love to see more of? Well, I don't really read outside of Christian fiction historical. Like, I've gotten some clean Regency books, obviously. And then I've done a few clean Victorian books, but eras, I feel like everything's covered pretty well. And honestly, I'm going to pay more attention to what I like. So I feel like there could always be more Gilded Age historical fiction, especially on the clean or the Christian side. And then for cultures, I would love just to see more Asian countries represented and characters, either in Christian fiction or clean fiction. I feel like there's like an interesting thing, because like I watch, every once in a while, I'll watch Korean historical dramas, and it's so wild for me to think about, okay, well, based off this money system, and I'm trying to do research on like, okay, what era is this? Because like they'll say like the Joseon dynasty, but like that was like a long time to a really long time, and obviously that's not it, but like, you know, it was a long time of history, and it's like, okay, well, you have to base it off of their money or their clothing or that kind of thing. And thankfully other people do research before I get to the historical drama, so I can just Google for my answer. And I always think it's interesting. It's like, okay, wait, when we were having our Regency tea parties, this is what was happening in Korea. And I think that's fascinating, and obviously as someone with an interest in the Korean culture and language, I think it would be fun to learn more about that. That's one reason why I really liked Heirlooms by Sandra Burr. That was a dual time period, modern day and 1950s after the war. And it had elements of that, and I thought that was really neat. And just honestly, Asian stuff in general is something I've always been interested in, drawn to. I don't really know why, but that would be interesting. I mean, honestly, most historical Christian fiction is going to be set in the US or England. And you'll have your few, like, Irish, Scottish, that kind of thing, but they're typically there. So I think it would be even interesting to learn more about, like, Australian history or that kind of thing. I've got a few Regency books that will mention, like, India because of history. And, like, Frances Hodgson Burnett mentions that in the 2 books I've read by her both have to do with India. So I'm very curious, will The Lost Prince have to do with that, or Little Lord, what's his name? That'll be interesting. So on the note of classics, Riley also asked, I know you're not the biggest fan of classics, but if you picked up one to read, which book would it be? The Secret Garden. I do really like that one. It's funny, when I was younger, I think The Little Princess was my favorite, even though I don't care for the ending. What's up with the ending? But now I would probably say The Secret Garden. And then she also asked, has the way you rate books on your blog/channel changed over the time in any way? That's a good question. Yes and no. Like, the general sense, no, but I have gotten a lot more detailed. And I think it was about 2015-16, I realized how many more things I needed to note in my reviews. So one way to tell which is an old review and which is a new review, and I'll have different ones updated, and they'll say, like, this review was originally posted on like 2013, but it was updated to the official reviewing system or something. I can't remember. It's a copy and paste thing on my end, but on and it'll be like 2021, and that is when it gets, like, way more detailed. So, like, I've got some books I need to go back and reread for my own self, but also to update the reviews. And that's just mainly to be more detailed. And, like, because I used to just say kisses. It's like, okay, well, that's great, Lindsay, but how long are these kisses? So that was one of the things that changed about that time. It was a few years into BFCG. So I think it was like 2015-16. I realized, hang on, wait a second. And you can also see the stars are different. Little odd note there. Elsewise, I've always followed the Goodreads rating system for, like, 1 star, did not like it, 2 star, it was okay, 3, it was good, 4, it was great, 5, it was fantastic or something. I've always followed their way, and Amazon's is more negative in my opinion. Goodreads, you have 3 is good, but Amazon has 3 is average. 4 is good, 5 it was great. I think there's a difference, and to me, Amazon is more negative leaning, like 3-star average. I don't know, I don't like that. So I've always been concerned Goodreads is going to change that after Amazon bought them, so we'll see. So technically, not really anything has changed over these almost 12 years. That's crazy to think about. Not really, just gotten more detailed, but it's been that way for the majority of BFCG. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, well, if we're talking, like, actual, like, reviewing, I used to handwrite everything. Everything. I would have college ruled notebook paper, the loose leaf sheets, and I would write the title of the book at the top. I'd write, and then on the column I'd have spiritual, negative, sexual, and I would physically write things on the clipboard with a pencil as I read the book physically. And I think that's also why I wasn't as detailed as I am now, because now I usually read as an ebook and I highlight things as I read. And then once I'm done with the book, I go back through, grab all my highlights, remove ones I don't need, and type it all up that way. So, like, honestly, time-wise, it was about the same. Writing it out as I read and then typing it up versus reading, highlighting, and then going back and typing it all up, the time seems to be about the same. But, like, that was a physical difference, if you will, that has changed. Yeah, that's probably the only physical thing. I read a lot of ebooks now, and that's just way easier for my content reviews, but it's also the method I've learned to prefer. So, yeah, that was an interesting thing to think about. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, here is my Christian and then clean fantasy and just, like, Christian YA. look at all the books I need to read. Look at these 2 books I need to read. I don't know which series to read first, though. I'm really, like, torn about that. This series intimidates me because this is basically a brick, but I always hear, if you like this series, then read this series. Or if you like this, you'll like this. So that implies you read this first. I don't know which one to read, so I've kind of just, like, pushed it off. I want to do a reading vlog, though, when I read them as well. That will be fun. If I ever get to it. Oh, I gotta read the Wing Feather Saga. I'm scared, though. I've heard so many things about it. I'm scared. That's terrible, but I am. I am. Oh, there's so many books I need to read. So many books I need to read. This series I am not gonna put over there. This is Sarah Brand. Oh, hello. This is zoomed in. Sarah Brand's other books. I want to read those soon, so we're gonna set those off to the side. Okay, and then this is all fantasy. This is fantasy. Okay, another question. Morgan's endless bookshelf. My sweet friend Morgan said, if you could smack a book character, who would it be? Watch any of my recent reads and there's going to be at least 2 for you right there. Oh, who do I want to smack the most? Oh, that's hard. That's hard. It's probably from some contemporary rom-com where, like, the girl's being ridiculous. It's probably that. I can't think of one off the top of my head. My camera cut off. I don't know what I was saying. That's really hard to pick. Who would I want? Because there's a list. Like, you know Santa's naughty list? Yeah, I got a longer list of people I want to smack on book characters. Maybe real characters, too. But for a recent read, honestly, I feel like it's more likely to happen that I want to smack someone over the head with a shoe or a book or a brick. That makes me sound violent. I promise you I'm not violent. I promise. Typically, though, it would be contemporary rom-com main girls. It's typically them. They're typically, like, typically. But one I recently read was Island of Secrets and Sacrifice by Deborah Grace White. This is connected to the Singer Tales series I was mentioning earlier. This is book 5. This is the brother of the main girl who we see very often. And he was kind of like, he was 15 in that. So, like, I could understand why he kept running off and, like, being, So, like, okay. But in this book, it's, like, 6 years later, and he needed his big sister to just come up and wallop him upside the head. So, I'd pick him currently, but honestly, it is a long list. Any of my recent reads will tell you at least 2. We can make a list. I'm not going to make that list. I have enough lists in my brain and head and laptop and phone, but it would be a long list. And then Morgan also asked, if you could have supper with a book character, who would it be? I honestly don't know if I've ever thought of this kind of question. Like, you know, you always have, like, a Bible character, which I don't like saying Bible character, a person from the Bible. Because a Bible character implies the Bible is fiction, and that's definitely not true. For fictional book character, though, I would love to say, like, an Erin Mangum character, particularly Paige, because I just think she's so much fun. But we would not eat healthy, and that's one thing. I eat very healthy, so that's kind of difficult. Like, who could I eat with that wouldn't judge me for being the health nut that I am? I don't know about that. I feel like I'd be judged hard by any of the over-caffeinated Erin Mangum main girls, but it would be really fun. I feel like I would just be, like, I'd be laughing so hard I think, like, I would snort up water or something because that would just be fun. They're just funny and that would just be enjoyable. And then which book family would you want to go on vacation with? Okay, here's the thing. I need more healthy families. That would be great. Can I just have, like, a road trip with, like, the Erin Mangum girls there too? Let's do that. A family, though. A family vacation with book characters. I should have thought this one through. I went through these last night and I was like, what would I answer for that? And then I got distracted by other things because that's how my brain is. Honestly, the only family I can think that I absolutely adore that's, like, coming to the forefront in my mind, particularly because I just saw the books on my shelf, but that would be the Secrets of Armadale series by Christina Bayer. I think Edith and her family is just absolutely lovely. And if you add in her cousins, especially the younger two, and her little brother, I think it would be so much fun. I would have so much fun with them. They would just be like, oh yes, them. I'll go with them because that would be really fun. For Christian fiction, though, I can't... A family. I remember really liking the family in Carrie Taransky's Highland Hall series, but it's been a long time since I've read that. I need to reread those. I keep saying that, but I do. That is on my list. I'm hoping I can get to it this year. I just got so inundated with fairy tale retellings last year, and that's a very high possibility to happen again. A lot of families in fiction books are like sad or broken or missing. Straight up missing or dead. So I kind of have a happy, healthy, normal family. I'm going to go with the Secrets of Wormwood series. Edith and her family. I'll go with them. Okay, I should organize more, but I want to answer another question. Sam said she's a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. And then she also asked, do I have recommendations for kinds of bookshelves or the best place to buy one? So these are from IKEA. All of the bookshelves in my room are from IKEA. They are the Billy bookshelves in different sizes. And I have a tip. Somewhere I did a list of tips on the Billy bookshelves. Because like you can buy extended height units, which is what I have on all of mine, and then you can also do extra shelves, which is great because then you more space for books. But they are from IKEA. I know not everyone has IKEAs by them, so I know that's difficult. So like these are the only bookshelves I've ever done because IKEA is like a road trip distance, if you will. So I've always done with them, but all my bookshelves except my Korean bookshelf is IKEA Billy bookshelf. So I've got the normal with the height extensions, the skinny with height extension units, and then these are the shorter ones here. These are the shorter ones. So these are the ones I have. I really like them. I think they're sturdy. I could probably build these in my sleep at this point with all the ones because I've had these, and then there's a couple other in our household, and then some when we moved here got damaged, so I had to build more. And so yes, I think my record is 21 minutes 13 seconds building it. So yeah, I like these. I've gotten quite good at building them. I really like them. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. And then what are some of your favorite dystopian reads? Oh, I want to do a dystopian book recommendations video. I didn't mean, that was a weird sound I made. I'm so sorry. I make that sound because dystopian is like, that was my first love, really. Like after contemporary Christian YA was Christian YA dystopian books. So yes, I like it. Those. I have a small stack of ones I need to get to, and then I want to do a video about that. I really like my dystopian books. Let's see though, my favorite ones, the Anomaly series by Krista McGee, phenomenal trilogy. I don't care when people say it's cliche and boring. No, it was revolutionary for its time. I accept no complaints. And then Jupiter Storm and Jupiter Winds by C.J. Darlington. I would honestly rank that one above the Anomaly series originally, but I need to reread them. Hopefully that happens this year. Again, I want to do a video of dystopian recommendations, but I have a few I want to get through first. Like I actually have some on my physical TBR I need to get to. Lindsey. And then I also really liked, for clean fiction, I really liked Drafted by Tommy Michelle. And that one was kind of, it was different, but I really liked it. So I have book 2 I want to read. Hopefully this will be the year that I'll be in a dystopian mood. But it's hard because I'm typically in a dystopian mood when like the political stuff in my own country is just crazy. And I'm hoping this year won't be crazy. So we'll find out. But those would probably be 2 of my favorite series. And then I haven't read book 2 yet for Drafted, which is undrafted. But I'm going to get to that hopefully within this first half of the year. I think those would be my favorites. Oh, such a good genre. I need to read those. I want like the take down the government rebellion style. I've read a few other dystopian books, but they weren't that. And I was like, what is this? What is this? And yeah, that was not my thing. So let's organize and we'll come back to a question. I tried to organize these a while back on like, okay, I want to read these in winter and these in fall and these in spring. But yeah, that didn't happen. Fairy tale retellings, anyone? Let's scooch over this stack. Honestly, this stack is probably just gonna like stay scooched over a little bit more maybe. We might organize it, but there's not really much to organize. All of these Barbar multi-series, I just need to get on with reading those. They're so short. I should be able to read those no problem, but here I am dragging my feet about it. I typically will organize these by genre or time period for historical. This is one book I'm really looking forward to getting to. The Women of Winton's, Donna Mumman. I think I've already asked that in a book haul if that's already been posted. Oh, how cute. Oh, look how cute the little chapters are. It's got all the different characters, the 4 different characters with like, oh, that's so 1950s. That's so cute. When is this set though? Because this cover feels fall. But is it fall? It might not be fall. Oh, this looks so good though. I want to get to this one soon. We're going to put that on another stack of books I want to get to soon. It's going to be a big stack. These that are like in the front are kind of just, you know, here. They're just here. Oh, maybe now it's good. I'm so not doing this properly. Honestly, the idea is not where I can see it all because there's too many, so it's just squeeze them in where I can kind of concept setup. Let's see. Old American Spirit, a sweet booktuber friend asked, number 1, your all-time favorite book/series from every genre, if you haven't already done this in a while. Can I save that for a video? I want to save that for a video. I really want to do a video where it's like Lindsay's starter packs, like welcome to my channel, here's the books I'm not going to shut up about. I would love to do that and like give you my top few favorites from every genre. I'm going to save that. I think that would be really fun. I think I have a similar draft somewhere in my notes. That would be really fun. Okay, I'm going to save that. And then number 2, what your process looks like these days of reading and reviewing books for Goodreads and BFCG. Oh, let's see. My process? It's craziness. No. It honestly hasn't changed too much. I read a book, typically it's an ebook. I highlight the content, and that was why getting the Kindle Colorsoft was like, I've been waiting for that. Elsewise, I would just like read on my phone or the iPad, which just isn't the same, but it works. But man, this Kindle is nice. Like, I know any Kindle's probably nice, but for me, I had to have the color highlighting, so like each color is a different. We've got one for spiritual, one for negative, one for sexual, and then I have the pink one, which I just use for like any important notes or things I like. And then let's see, I do that, I read the book, I highlight things as I go, and then once I'm done with the book, whether it be like a Kindle book, a PDF on the Kindle or whatever, I'll either pull it up on my laptop or pull it back up on the Kindle and have my laptop nearby, split screen, and type things up. Yeah. Did that make any sense at all? I'm not sure. When it's on your Kindle, you can do like read.amazon.com, I think that's the URL. And if you're logged in, you can see all of your books and just like flip through it like you would normally. And so I'll have that off to the side. And then on the other side, I'll have my document or my note if it's going on Goodreads. And yeah, I just type that up. Typically, BFCG reviews take much longer than Goodreads reviews, because when it's just a Goodreads review, it's typically clean fiction, and it's just kind of more of the broad content. Though I feel like I'm getting bad about listing everything in those too. Maybe just a bit. So typically, clean fiction books take me longer, and it's fair to say that if a book is 300 pages long, on average, I typically have about that many highlights. That's typically about. Now, sometimes it depends. Like if it's got a harder topic matter or there was a lot of parts I like, then it's going to have more highlights. But it's always nice when, well, let's just put it this way. I always get excited when it's a certain page length and I have less highlights than that, because that means, okay, there wasn't that much to note. And I really like when that happens. So yeah, did that make any sense? I don't know. I need to show that maybe in a vlog. I don't know about making a whole video on it unless y'all would be interested in that, but maybe in a vlog I can just like give y'all the behind the scenes, if you will, of that. But yes, I'm going to save your first question, sweet friend, for a video. And hopefully that video, I'm not going to promise when that video is going to come out, but I'm going to say spring. Let's say spring on that. I feel like that's doable. I have to do it when I'm like super excited and giddy to talk about books. So we're gonna aim for spring on that, because that would be a really fun video. So thank you. Okay, this is kind of like a little nonfiction stack, classics. Can y'all see? Y'all can't see. It's fine then. We'll answer more questions. How about? Amanda asks, which book series do you think would make a great TV series? Well, only if they have a good budget, thank you, and only if like they have commitment. Like, will they have good time? It's really hard for me to say a TV series though, because like if I could, it's like, can y'all just redo When Calls the Heart? Let's redo that. The first season was great, and the movie was better. Let's redo that. As far as, I know I got asked this on Instagram, I think, as well. So I'm going to have to think. I think that question was movies, but for here on YouTube, it was a TV show. Man, they have to do it right. I have trust issues. I think The Secrets of Ormdale series by Christina Baird, that would be really good. And like a graphic novel, like comic manhwa manga style. And same with like all of Melanie Sellier or Deborah Grace White's fairy tale retellings. I have a hard time picturing those as like a TV show or movie. A TV show. A TV show. I feel like a TV show, you've got to have like enough material to go with it. So it should be a series. A TV series? Man, I can think of movies that would be good. Because like the Cobble Hill Farm series by Guidepost, that would be a fun movie. Like kind of like Hallmark-esque style, but better because there's faith content. Okay, I just saw it. I'm going to go with this. I like the answer. I'm going with this one. I like this answer. The Accidental Cases of Emily Abbott, however we say her name. I'm going to get that one day. One day I will get it. It is not today. By Perry Elizabeth Kirkpatrick. That would work because they're short and like they can wrap up. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. That would be a fun TV series. Spies, accidentally becoming a spy. And like it doesn't really have any fantasy elements, so like we wouldn't need CG or the budget for that, or CGI, whatever that is. We wouldn't need that. So I'm going to go with that. I like that idea. Someone make that happen. Or just let the author write more books. I'm ready. I want to continue the rest of that series. I'm still waiting on continuing that series. Hello. This is kind of like my current little mess of a stack of books I want to get to soon. I even have my bookmark in this one, so that tells you something. Okay, I think the last question I have on here on YouTube, I'll double check, but that is from, this font is tiny and far away. Leslie asked, do you have any advice for people who are interested in reviewing books? I'm thinking of starting a review section on Instagram, however, I don't have a lot of experience editing photos. Oh, okay, so let's see. Advice for people who are interested in reviewing books. Well, specifically for Instagram with photos, there's a bunch of filters you can use. You don't have to buy props, just like have fun with it, experiment. I will say natural light is the best, so if you can like do it on a really sunny day and like have your setup or your book or something near natural light, that's typically always more pleasing to the eye than like a fluorescent light bulb, if possible. You don't have to follow that, but like that's typically, more people find that pleasing than like the yellow starkness of fluorescent light bulbs. And then advice for people who are interested in reviewing books. That I can think of a few different things. Let's see. So number one was to be honest with your review. Be nice, but be honest, especially if you don't really care for a book. If it wasn't 5 stars, don't feel like you have to give a book a high rating because you got it for review. You can give compliments within notes of things you didn't like, kind of thing. I think that honestly would be my main thing, is just be honest on your thoughts about a book. I take notes as I review about what I'm thinking about a book, which is really helpful if you have to like put the book down and you don't get to read it all in one sitting. And then I kind of just like combine those thoughts and try to make it flow better for the actual like review once I'm done reading. Man, I feel like I don't really have advice, but I feel like I do have advice, but I don't have advice. What's up with that little conundrum? if you don't know what to say about a book, you could always do like bullet points of things you like and maybe things you didn't like in bullet points. I like bullet points and lists, so that's probably where I'm coming from with that. I don't know if that was any good advice, but maybe. I'm sorry. Oh, I did miss Bella's question. I'm so sorry, Bella. That was, what are some books you'd love to see made into movies? Ah, okay. I thought that was on Instagram. That was on here. I'm so sorry, Bella. Yes. Okay, so I kind of already answered with a few ideas. So, like, the Mysteries of Cobble Hill Farm, that series so far, I think that would be really cute as, like, a Hallmark murder mystery, but it's not murder, it's just mysteries. Or, like, GAF, because they do Christian faith content in their stuff. And it would be a lot, well, I'd like to say it'd be a lot better than their current stuff, both of them. But it's really going to depend on the actors, because some of those actresses cannot act. So that would be fun. That would be a really fun one. And then if there was a budget for it, I think it would be really neat to have Nancy Campbell Allen, her Matchmakers trilogy. That would be great. If they could do, like, good costuming and details and all of that, that would be fun. That would be really good. Oh, that could be great. And then, how most things I read, especially when it's got a fantasy element or like a princess royalty element, I think of them in like comic book style, manhwa, manga style. So like, again, all the Melanie Sellier, Deborah Grace White, The Secrets of Ormdale by Christina Bayer, that series, all of that tells me there. But if I'm going to go like a dystopian, I think the Anomaly trilogy would have been great as a movie by Krista McGee. That would have been great. However, there were way too many similarities to the Divergent, however we say that, series, that movie series and franchise and whatever. So I feel like people would, like, it would get bad reviews on sites because, like, it's just like that. It's like, no complaints, people. It was glorious at its time. Thank you. So I'd like to say that. Maybe not. I feel like sci-fi is really big now. So like the Recorder series by Kathy McCrum, or that's not the series name, I don't think, but that trilogy, that probably would be interesting. I didn't really love those books though, so I'm not going to say that one. A Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures by Angela Bell for historical fiction, if done well, would be really good. And also just like Joanna Davidson Politano's, if they could get everything. Like, her books are pretty packed, but like you've got that mystery thread in them. That would be really good. We just watched that Top Gun Maverick movie, which, oh my goodness, they cussed a lot in that one. We just watched that, though, and that made me think of Mrs. Witherspoon Goes to War by Mary Davis. That would be fun. Again, if we can do it historically accurate, please and thank you. I'm looking at my bookshelf going, what else would be great? Any of Jen Toronto's books would be great, but those, like, again, budget for the costuming and the acting, and it really would be dependent on those actresses. Like, can they pull off that role? They've got to be the perfect fit. And I feel like that would be really hard to find because her main girls are just so quirky typically. It could so easily come off as cheesy if not done correctly. So I'd be very picky with that. What else we got? I'm honestly not going to say the Erin Mangum books. I love her books so much. We all know this. But I don't feel like I would want them in a movie. I feel like I would be so critical of them. And there's no way they would have the amount of faith content that the books have. Like, that would just get cut. And the time length of a movie, time frame kind of thing, the limit of that. So that would be a major bummer. The Secrets of Ormdale series would be really cool as movies, but you've got the dragon element, so that adds in the CGI. I'm acting like I'm funding these movies. Why am I getting so hung up on that? But those would be really neat. I'm trying to think contemporary, though. When have I read a contemporary book? It's been a while, and they're always Erin Mangum. The Gone to the Dog mysteries by Miss Janice Thompson and Kathleen Yabarbo, those would be fun. Those, again, would be on the side of, like, non-murder mystery movies, but with dogs. That would be cute. But again, the actresses are gonna just, like, it's gonna depend on that, but those could have been really cute made into movies, and they're shorter, so they shouldn't have to cut anything. I am acting like this is, like, the biggest question. This is the biggest question. Okay, why are there comments here I haven't seen? I'm so sorry. Samantha asks, out of the books you own, which ones have covers you really like? This is also a very hard question. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Secrets of Ormdale series. I adore these covers. I think they are absolutely stunning. A Lady's Guide to Marvel's Misadventures. I think that just perfectly fits the book and the quirkiness of it, the whimsicalness. Obviously, any of the ones with like girls in pretty dresses I think is really fun by Melanie Sellier. So like The Princess Companion, and the inside's great too. But The Legacy of Roses, really like that cover. I think that one is so pretty. It's honestly kind of hard for me to think of like what covers do I really like. I do really like The Lost Rose by Victoria Lynn, but I feel like I'm picking a lot of new ones because I haven't gotten to stare at them for so long. Whereas like the Spice King, A Gilded Lady, that series, those are really, I did not like book 3, but that series, like I've seen it, so like it's like, yeah, that's really nice, but it doesn't come to the forefront of my mind because I haven't like recently stared at it. Like it's kind of old news, if you will, but it is a pretty cover. What else we got? I know there was a Jen Toronto one I really liked. I cannot think the title of it. I can see it. I'll put it up on screen. Sketchy Behavior by Aaron Mangum. I think that just fits the book so well. Oh, the Melissa Tagg series. Oh, Mer Harbor. That's, oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous covers. Those would be great movies if they wouldn't cut anything, but things would get cut and they'd have to change things, and that just would be a bummer. Those would be really good movies, though. Those would be like, oh, good. Those would be good. Okay, so those were some of my favorite covers. I feel like there's more. I know there's more, but we'll go with those. Okay, let me double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, I think I answered all the ones on YouTube, and so later I will answer y'all's on Instagram, but y'all have actually already seen them. So we're going to go back to that Lindsey, and she'll give you an overview of everything. Well, I guess I could finish this real quick. Let's finish this real quick with me. Okay, so we still have like, you know, the stack, but I think it looks so much better. It looks so much better. I'm much happier. So thanks for joining me organizing this as well. I need to go take care of all the stationery stuff. So back to the other Lindsey. Bye. My tea is still really hot. I am really low energy today. We had a big storm come through last night and power surges and all of that. But I need to film this video today. I'm not feeling the best, but it's going to be low energy because of that, but we're going to do it. We're going to make myself feel better by organizing my bookshelf. It's in a disarray, so we have a bunch of books that already have a place, but we also have ones I need to add. So all of these nearly are new. These are all new basically, and then maybe half on this shelf. These are mostly new. Like they don't, by new I mean like they don't have places. So we're going to work on that. So to kind of give like an overview of my bookshelves, most of it is Christian fiction. The little bit that is not are these two shelves here, this shelf, and then the little shelf. That's kind of where I've put my clean fiction. I don't really like having the Christian fiction and the clean fiction like intermixed on my bookshelf in the rainbow, just for the sake of my sanity with reviewing purposes and all that. So that's why I do it differently. I do it in a rainbow order. As you can tell, it's a messy rainbow order, but it brings me a lot of joy. I know it's not for everyone, but I really like how colorful it is, and it just makes me smile every time I see it. There are a lot of books in my room. I kind of live in a library, and it's lovely. It's lovely. But we need to organize it to make it look like a bunch of toddlers didn't come through and destroy it. So that's what we're going to do. Maybe... okay, so let's talk about the plan. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I also have like stationary stuff all over this side of the floor that y'all can't see that I'm going to be like precariously stepping over. Because that's just going to make it more interesting, you know, of course. There's not really anything too groundbreaking that we're going to do. We're going to be adding a bunch of books in. We'll move things down, push things back, throw things back in. I think what we might start with is go ahead and put the ones that maybe already have their spots, so I know how many need to be put in the order. I think that's how we're going to start with. So let's get started with that. Maybe we ought to answer a question first, though. I have my laptop. Hang on. So the first question that I thought I would answer just kind of right off the bat is from Bridget, sweet Bridget, and she asked, how are you and your family doing? We're doing, we're clicking along. I feel like this might not really set the tone, but kind of like make sense of my answers for some other questions that have come up. And for those who don't know, my family's been through a lot in the last couple of years. My sister unexpectedly passed away in January of 2023. And then a year later, my mom started getting really sick. And so she is doing better. We've figured things out. We've had some encouraging progress, but she's still in a lot of pain. Especially like there's a new pain right now that we're trying to figure out what the cause of that is. So she's still in a lot of pain, and we would still greatly appreciate prayer for all of that. I wasn't sure how much I would say on this. I can't remember what I said when we were like right at the beginning of my mom's health stuff. When I did a reading vlog. That wasn't really a reading vlog, but a behind the scenes vlog of putting together these new bookshelves. And I know I talked about it there, but I can't think of what I said in that video. I think we were then under the impression my mom was type 2 diabetic, and it was just like a crazy high A1C number. Okay, we've got to figure out how to lower it and all that kind of things. But it's turned out to be a lot more complicated than that. And it's been crazy. Like, I didn't really know about the whole diabetes thing. She is more of a type 1.5, which is closer to type 1 than type 2, even though she's an adult. It's interesting all the different ways this industry has changed, especially for diabetic people, either type 1 or type 2. It's amazing when like you think of the history of it and how far it's come in just the last few decades. But when you have the ability to pull you back into range quickly, because like in my mom's case, she was so incredibly high in her numbers and we didn't realize it. We didn't realize it until we did blood tests when she wasn't feeling well. And she had insanely high blood sugars and the A1C level and all of that. That when you pull your body back down too quickly, you run the risk of having other problems. So we are unfortunately currently dealing with other problems. And so she is my focus every day. Make sure she eats enough to gain some weight back that she lost, because she lost quite a bit of weight and she already was very tiny to begin with. So we're working on that. There's been a lot of like positives and good things that have happened, but we're still definitely in the thick of this. She's gotten stronger. She hasn't been able to walk for the last few months, and that's been really hard on her, of course, and all of us. So she's getting better and stronger, but we still have some ways to go. So if you think about us, we would always appreciate prayers. So thank you. But that kind of like, I feel like that will explain, like, because I know I got asked, have I ever thought about moving out? And so we'll go ahead and answer that one real quick. That's not really an option at this point now. I've always had the mindset that I would go from like family home to home with husband kind of concept. And that, I know that's not really the most normal thing, but I think there's a lot of different factors in that. So I am my mom's full-time caretaker and I'm doing all the household stuff. So moving out is not an option at this point, and honestly I don't really want to move out, not only for like financial reasons, but my parents are also older than most of my peers' parents. I was a surprise, a wonderful surprise, they say, of course, obviously. So yeah, to kind of just simply answer that, no, that's not really in my near future that I can see about moving out, and I'm personally okay with it. I know that's kind of against the typical American dream, where, not even American dream, just the typical American life where you get to school, you grow up, you move out, you get a job, you have your life kind of thing. But I think it's interesting that in a lot of other countries, a lot of young adults stay at home until they're married. And I think it's interesting, like, if you compare statistics and, like, family relationships and all of that. And in all reality, I am very close to both of my parents. We tease my dad and say I'm 90% my mom, but I'm a good. I think I'm a decent amount of him too. We have a very similar humor. So I'm very close to my parents though. So no, I don't foresee moving out anytime soon for responsibility reasons and just because I love my parents. I have teasingly said they are stuck with me. And they said they're okay with that. So, you know, I don't think they're lying. My tea's still too hot. I can't drink it. I'm going to have to get an ice cube later. But let's organize some books. I'm going to pull up a picture of my bookshelf from me prior making it a disaster. And we are going to base it off of that. My main problem is going to be this blue section. I had to pull so many. Here we are. I had to pull so many of the blues for different Instagram pictures. So I have a picture on my laptop of it, and we're just going to zoom in and put some things back in order. That's what we're going to do. Welcome to the blue section. I have it zoomed in, and we are going to match some things. Let me pull my stool around. So one question I received was, how do you deal with burnout, either from posting reviews or reading so many books? I feel like I have gotten burned out at times over the years, but typically if I'm struggling with that, it's because I've read so many duds in a row. I typically do pretty well. The Lord has definitely given me a passion for doing this, and which is very grateful. I'm very grateful for on those days and weeks where I have duds after duds. So that definitely helps. But if I do have that, I'll typically pick up a favorite book, and you know, that kind of like reunites the love for reading. Yeah, that would probably be it. The Lord and then rereading favorite books. I would say those two. This is like so many books, I honestly kind of just want to like take them off and put them on the floor, but I don't have the energy for that, so we're not doing that. Okay, we're putting Hey Jude Carpenter back on. These will stay here. In between the icing on the cake and Stanley Bradford, we have Starring Me. You're going to notice a lot of YA books being put back on the shelf because I had to take them. I've been doing a book recommendation series on Instagram. Wait, did I do that backwards? I did do that backwards. On Instagram for teen safe ones. And I'm going to probably put them all together for like a big master list recommendation, and I'll share that on the community tab here on YouTube, which I think only subscribers can see based off of chatter I've heard. So if you're not, double checking I'm not missing any here, if you're not subscribed, I don't know if it comes up, like if you don't have an account or if you're not subscribed. So, and you can't really let me know that here on YouTube unless you're subscribed and you leave a comment. Or you have an account and you leave a comment. So someone will have to message me on Instagram to know that. But the blue section is always a very big, popular section, I feel like, here on my bookshelf. Let me see, what else do we have? Camping Adventure goes here, and then we have Double Take by Lynette Easton. This is the nice part about the rainbow bookshelves. If you take a bunch of pictures, and then when you make a mess, you can just look back at the pictures. So some of y'all might be thinking I'm cheating, but what I'm really doing is working smarter, not harder. That's what I'm doing. Okay, then we need a Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures. I still haven't tabbed my copy of this. I just shared about this one on Instagram again, and I was going through all the quotes of it, and I was just like, oh, so good, so good. I can't wait to re-listen to that one. Let's see, on the other side of Noah's Ark, we have Road Trip Rescue. And With Each Tomorrow, why do I feel like I'm missing somebody? Okay, I don't remember this one being that loose, so I'm probably gonna find somebody else that goes here. Whoops. Oops. Okay, let's go with another question. Eileen asked, favorite book of all time. I can't do that. That's a mean question. I can't do that one. No, I really can't. I mean, obviously the Bible. Obviously. But then fiction book, we're going to have to break it up by genre, author. I don't know. I have to say, like, this one book that comes to mind that has an incredibly special place in my heart would be The Broken Branch by Erin Mangum. I've talked about that one, so I do really, really love that one a lot. But favorite book of all time? I mean, Mysterious Building Society would be in the top 5, obviously. Obviously. Like, if we're talking fiction books, that's in the top 5, without a doubt. Let's see. Allie asked, where do I get all my books from and if they ship internationally? So I don't know which ones do or do not ship internationally, being the American that I am. But I can say I do buy a good amount of books from Amazon lately because I've been reading a lot of, like, indie print books. I do like Librius for getting new books. And then I've done Pango, which I don't think Pango's in Canada yet. I think they said they were working on that. And then I'm trying to think, where else have I bought books? Amazon and Librius are my main ones. I've bought some from Pango. There's a Christian fiction buy and sell group on Facebook. But I'm pretty sure that's US. It's not necessarily US only. There are some Canadian members, but, like, you'll be teased a lot if you're from Canada and you see a bunch of YA ones, not YA, if you see a bunch of just US ones. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do better about buying books, y'all. But yeah, Librius would be probably my main one that I buy from. And I don't know if they do internationally. I feel like they do. I could be wrong, but I feel like they do. Okay, so that's this section. Though I feel like I'm missing something. And from my picture, I can't tell. I feel like I'm playing Where's Waldo? I'm not sure. Okay, let me grab some other ones that go in this area. Where? Ah, nope, there it is, there it is. Across the Blue by Carrie Taransky goes on this side of $1 Million Bill Limit. There it is. I knew I wasn't losing my mind. Okay, there is quite a few questions, so let's see. What is your favorite book cover? I have a lot of favorite book covers, really. I feel like I haven't had any one, though, lately besides the Wormwood Abbey series, where I'm just, like, stunned over the beauty that it is. So probably that whole series. I have it here. We're going to put them on the shelf. I really have to say I really like the purple tones of this one. But out of them all, I would say this one, the first book, is probably my favorite cover. It fits it so well. And I think it's so neat when not only a book's insides are good, but the outside is good too. It's very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Which book would you like to see made into a movie? I answered this in the other part of this question. And I don't think I have any more to add since the 2 weeks. I do have to say, The Mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow, this would be fun if done well. Again, that little disclaimer, if done well. Good budget, accurate to the book. That one would be fun. That one would be very fun. So, that would be fun. Alright, what else we got? Let's organize some more books before I just talk everyone's ears off. I think this section feels a little loose, so we'll see if we discover another book, but let's move down a bit. Bridget also asked, what is your favorite classic? I know classics aren't your favorite, but do you have one? You're not kidding about the lack of enjoyment of classics on my part. But I do really like The Secret Garden. I re-listened to that one and A Little Princess, and I was like, yeah, these are good. I really like these. So those, let me look at my little tiny classic shelf. That's probably it. I mean, Because of Winn-Dixie, does that count? I don't think that really counts. But if it does count, that would probably be my favorite. That's a very special book to my heart. Yeah, that's probably it. I haven't read many classics, though. I really haven't. I would like to read more of Frances Hodgson Burnett. Her name is such a mouthful for me, and I feel like I mess it up in every video. But I feel like I should read more of her books because I've really enjoyed the 2 I've read. So, I feel like that would be a good idea. Have I done that yet? No. But that is hopefully the goal this year. I think who else am I missing? Grace on the Preacher. That's it. There. Okay, I have a bright green one. That goes here. What goes here? Oh, Victoria Grace. Ooh, I'm warming up in this little sweater. Okay, and then on this second shelf, Still Forever, Like a Flower in Bloom. For those who need like a hidden gem that, oh no, my card's fixing to be full. Okay, I'm gonna have to take care of that. But if anyone wants a hidden gem that no one really talks about, this book right here, really good. Really enjoy it. Let's see, I have two of the, let's see, Rebecca said, what is one of the first books you remember loving and how old were you when you read it? And then Tabitha asked, what was your favorite book as a child? Like the first book you ever loved. So let's see, I wasn't really a big reader until I was in 3rd grade, I think. So prior to that, when I was like itty bitty Sandra Boynton's books, those were a classic. I can't remember which ones. I'll ask my mom and put which ones there because I don't remember. But when I see them, they give me like happy, warm, fuzzy feelings. So something in my brain remembers, which is fascinating. So I really liked those. But then when I got into reading when I was about, I don't know, 7, 8 maybe? I think it was the Cam Jansen series, classic, particularly these covers with her photographic memory, love her. And then when it comes to like reading for myself more, I had joined a book club with some friends and there were some duds, like the Phantom Tollbooth. That I want to reread that book just to see if I still hate it. Because I despised that book with every fiber of my being when I was young. So I'm curious, would I still despise that book? Because I did no fantasy. And now I'm getting into fantasy. I'm in fantasy. So maybe I wouldn't hate it. But do I really want to chance that and find that out? I don't know. But that book drove me mad. But so we had some duds in that book club, in my opinion. And then The Tale of Despereaux. I love that book. Didn't like those at all. But the one I did really like was The Mysterious Benedict Society. Are we shocked? No, we are not. That book just kind of blew my mind and I just adored it so much. So probably like actually loved, I would say, that book. And so I think I was like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. Prior to that though, I also really liked Biscuit. Do y'all remember Biscuit? That cutie patootie? I liked Biscuit. Biscuit was great. So maybe those, for those questions. Yeah. Let's see, what else am I missing here? I feel like Off the Chain goes here. Yes, I am correct. Good job, Lindsay. This is such a cute book. Okay, random question. I've probably asked this before. But for those who have A Castaway in Cornwall by Julie Klassen, does y'all's have like a shimmer? Can you see the shimmer? It's different and I got it from Book Outlet, so I feel like it's like a messed up print and I can't recall seeing a book like this in stores. I don't know, it's... I'm not sure what this is. I like it, but like it kind of confuses me. Every time I see it, it's got like a sparkle to it. Let's see. Tabitha also asked favorite candle scent. I know it's random, but if you're into Bath and Body Works, favorite scent of theirs. I used to be a big Bath and Body Works girly, like in junior high, and then I realized how bad all that was for my hormones. And so yeah, I no longer do any of that, but favorite scents in general, I love the smell of vanilla and then lime. If we can be oddly specific for like essential oil girlies, bergamot. I love the smell of bergamot. That one, like I smell it and my body just relaxes. And, you know, like the scent of rain when it's, you know, a good thunderstorm. Those kinds of things. But yeah, the perfume stuff I try to stay away from personally nowadays. But I'm trying to think what was. I liked all of the citrusy ones, I think, back then. So, man, I honestly forgot they were still around. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's just page... Torn goes here or here? No, that's not what goes there. This is why I have pictures, my friends. This is why we have pictures. Where is... Mrs. Witherspoon. Where's that one? Oh, it's over here. I forgot I had some here. Okay, another question. Oh, this one's from Tabitha as well. Is if you could choose an animal sidekick from any fictional world, who would you choose and why? I don't know. I like that question. I should have thought of that one. Thought on that one longer. I mean, Daisy is my sidekick in real life, so I'm not going to replace her. But if we're talking a fictional world, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like all the fairy tales I've read and how many of them had animal sidekicks. Sarah Baran has a lot that I've been reading lately. She always has one usually, and I've been really enjoying those. Those have been fun, but I don't know. I like that question. I'm not sure. I'm bummed. I want to know if anyone else... Okay, wait. Does anyone else have an answer to this? Give me examples. Let me steal your sidekick. I'm not sure. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Let me look at my fantasy books real quick. Besides like A Rogue Princess by Melanie Sellier, I don't feel like any of the Melanie Sellier ones, or Deborah Grace White, which y'all can't see that I'm petting so lovingly, I don't think any of them really had a sidekick, and the cat in that Puss in Boots retelling would absolutely, dramatically protest to being a sidekick. So, okay, if you have an animal sidekick, I need to know. I need to know your answer for this. I'm sorry, Tabitha, I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's see, what else do we have on the shelf? Somebody goes, I'm between these two, and that's The Elusive Truth of Ellie Temple. And now we're going to... Oh, wait. What goes there? Somebody goes there. Hang on. Once I knew... Where's that? Here it is. Okay, another question. Do you have a catalog system for all the books you own and/, or want to buy? So I very much rely on Goodreads for that. When I get a book, I try, keywords being try, to remember to add it to my own shelf. And then like I've got it broken down like own, unread, own, other, own, Christian fiction. I've got it broken down that way, so I do that. And then I have a shelf on Goodreads that is for physical books to get. And if I read a book, I like it, I don't already own it, I will click it and put it on that shelf. So that's kind of it for my system. It's not really a good system. I used to be way more dedicated to making sure I always had what books I own on the shelf. But I don't really go out and buy books anymore. Like, I haven't done that. There's not really a lot of good bookstores nearby. So I don't really have the concern of buying duplicates. Back when I used to go to bookstores more and there were more bookstores in the area, I was very reliant on making sure I did not buy duplicates. But I don't really do that, so yeah, that's about my system. It's kind of boring and basic, but it's on Goodreads and like everything else is on Goodreads, so it works for me. Okay, what do we have here? I only messed with one here, and that's yellowish. Wasn't that Collateral Damage, I think? I think that was this one. Yes. I need more true yellow books. I feel like half of these are kind of like tannish yellow, so they don't really count, really, if we want to be like nitpicky. Raven's Hollow. Where's Art's Choice? Go right here. Oh, okay. Another question. As a Christian, what are your views on Harry Potter? I know it's a divisive series. That is a very... Yeah, it is. I actually have never read them. I've never seen the movies. So I don't really feel like I can give a proper opinion on them. They never interested me when I was younger. To me, they were very boy books, and I was very much a girly girl. I'm still very much a girly girl, let's be honest. So I had no interest in them or the movies. So my parents, we never really had to have that kind of conversation about, am I allowed to read them, am I not, why am I not, that kind of thing. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other, and maybe that's wrong. But I haven't read them. I haven't done a lot of research into them. I have no interest in them. So that's never been something that like I've had to research and learn about and pray about and figure out what is my opinion on that. I don't really have one. I don't think I look at the series completely neutral one way or the other, because I do know it can be very controversy stirring up, and especially in the Christian community. I don't know, there's just a lot about that series, and I don't really know about it all. I know there's controversies about the series, the author, but I don't have an interest in them. I don't think I'll probably ever read them because I'm just not interested in it. So yeah, sorry, I don't really have an answer for that. Okay, I just found a book that I know goes up here, but there's no place for it. Is there a place for it? Oh no, okay, we can squeeze you in. Where do you go? Roadside Assistance by Amy Clipson. I want to reread this series hopefully this year. I say that, but that probably won't happen. But like, that's a hope. That's a hope. I'd like to, because it's been so long since I've read those. And I'd like to start resharing about some of the older ones I've really enjoyed. But I feel like I need to reread them to be able to not only market them properly, but to make sure I still stand behind them. Another question would be, who is your favorite book boyfriend of all time? So I don't really do the whole book boyfriend thing, mainly because that makes me feel like I'm trying to break up a relationship. And I'm not doing that, thank you very much. So yeah, I don't really do the whole book boyfriend thing. It's never been something that's interested me. I can look at a male main character and go, oh, what he just did was incredibly sweet or incredibly attractive. But I'm not going to try to steal him for myself. I'm not going to do that. One more from Lyra was, have you ever read The Giver? I have not. I have not. I've heard about it. I can't even tell you, though, what I've heard about it. Let's move y'all a little closer in. Sorry. No, I haven't read it, though. Is that the Lois Lowry, I think, is the author? I'm not even positive of the author, so no, I haven't read that one. Not sure. Let's see. Do I have any biblical fiction or romantic suspense faves you'd like to recommend? So I don't personally read biblical fiction books because it's really hard for me to separate what is biblical truth and what someone has added on to the Bible. In a lot of biblical fiction cases, it's kind of, expanding upon about someone in the Bible. And it's not necessarily biblically true, so I avoid those personally. And then there's ones that are just set in the Bible times, and that just doesn't interest me. That sounds bad, but that's just not really my genre for multiple reasons, and those are some of them. But for romantic suspense, welcome to basically the shelf that has all my romantic suspense. They're always black spines. I don't make the rules. That's just how it always works on here. Let me put this up. Okay, so one series you've probably heard me talk about would be the Port Astor Secrets series by Sandra Orchid. Deadly Devotion is book one. I really like those. That trilogy is probably my favorite. But then I like a lot of Lisa Harris's books. I haven't read her new series that she's been independently doing. Some Lynette Easton books. I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like I read a lot of romantic suspense, and I've felt this for years. I read a lot of it, but you can't tell from my shelves. I end up not keeping a bunch of them, and I think that's partially because, I only gave them, a 3, or I liked elements of them, but then there was other parts that kind of brought it down. So I'm not really sure what else. I did really like Never Fall Again, which we need to put back on this shelf, but I really wouldn't classify this as romantic suspense, though, because it was more romantic than suspense. So maybe the Port Astor Secrets series, and then I really liked Crossfire by Lynette Easton. Countdown was good as well. Maybe those? Maybe those. Oh, Holly's asking the hard questions. What is the scariest thing that God has ever asked you to do? Okay, do we want a serious answer on that? I guess. To trust Him. That's been really hard. Particularly to trust Him with my family, with my loved ones. Yeah, that's been hard. He's still working on me on that. I feel like I'm doing better. And then I fall off the Apple wagon. So, yeah. There's my moment of vulnerability again in this video. That would probably be it, though, because of everything my family's gone through and my sister passing. Yeah. That's probably the scariest thing. If you mean like a leap of faith moment, I don't really think I've had one where like it's been scary per se. Letting go and trusting him, because I'm a control freak. Hi, if you weren't aware, perfectionist type A control freak in a lot of ways. I think I'm getting better on the control freak side, but it's only because the good Lord is taking what I am clenching and just gently relaxing my hands and letting me give it to him. So, yeah. There's that. And then Holly also asked, which person from the Bible, aside from Jesus, obviously, do you wish you knew more about? So me personally, honestly, all of them. I would like to do better. Like, I'm always so impressed when I see different people and they're just able to say, so-and-so from the Bible, and it's like in the Old Testament. I don't do well with the Old Testament. I'm trying to do better with that. And I'm trying to like pull in like, okay, where the New Testament talks about Jesus reconfirming something that was prophesied back in the Old Testament, trying to like connect the dots better. But I still, some of the Old Testament names, they just get all like in my brain. So, honestly, most of the people from the Old Testament would just be better for me to do. But if you mean like in general, I would still say all of them. I'd like to do better with that. Okay, for our pink books, I grabbed a bunch to talk about with Valentine's Day. Dee-dee, so cute. This one though, Christy Miller goes up there, so we're going to put her up there. Let's see, one other question. Are there any Christian fiction tropes or themes you're tired of seeing or would like to see more of? I love this question. Publishers, get out your notepad and your pen. Thank you. I would love to see more pink books. Thank you. Love that. I also think it would be great if we could have less black suspense books. Why are the suspense books always like dark and moody like that? Like, I always think it's fun when I look at A Secret to Die For by Lisa Harris, because look, it's half pink. I'll take it. But for actual tropes or like characters, I would love to see more couples equally yoked, where they both have strong faiths and they encourage each other in their strong faiths and they keep on their strong faiths. Because in all my years of Christian fiction, one thing that has always just bothered me to pieces is if you have one with a good faith or a strong faith of the couple, and then the other half of the couple is like questioning God, which I get that, but like in the sense of like God doesn't listen, yada yada yada, all that kind of stuff, and like they're kind of like a negative Nancy until right before the end, and then they're like, oh, okay, I believe in God now, and then whoop, oh, guess what? The couple can be together now. It ends with a bow. I would love to see more strong faith couples. So whenever like I see that, I get excited. I'm trying to remember to mention that more as like a good positive in a book when that happens. I also really like to Never Fall Again, particularly. The main guy asked, can I pray with you for the girl, for what she was going through? And then he did. Like, boom, right there. Oh, that was beautiful. So yes, more strong faith couples. Please and thank you. I'm trying to think, what else? I feel like I have a long list of what I don't want y'all to do. And that would be like a lot of physical attraction. Can we just like cut that off? You're making it sound lusty. Let's not go there. And then, ooh, what else? I have a note on my phone that has, and my laptop because it's all connected, but there is a note and it's all my rants on Christian fiction. Shall we just glance at that real quick? Let's see, where is that? Rants, pet peeves. Okay. Let's see. Love triangles. Okay, that one's calmed down a lot. I feel like that's better. That's gotten better, I think. You typically just see that in YA books. I love this one. The awkwardly timed physical attraction romance part in a lot of romantic suspense books. She somehow either gets kidnapped or held hostage or drugged, or she's caught the eye of the villain, or all of the above. And while at the beginning of the part of the book she's like, I don't need any help. I'm Little Miss Independent. I'm an independent woman. In this case, she obviously wants help to get out of the situation. But as soon as the bad guy is caught, time for a kiss between the main couple. Now, mind you, there is probably a dead body or two around them. He may have blood on him, and she's probably covered in grime from the spider-infested basement she was locked in. But they're kissing in front of all their co-workers and probably SWAT. I would have too much pride for this. And Lindsey of 2023, that is correct. You still have too much pride for that. You would not do that. I love it. I would hope I'd rather be looking forward to a shower than the male lead's lips. I've got the happens in historical books as well, but it's more of her ankle, his bare hairy chest. Lord help me. I need to know what book was I ranting about. Oh, that's great. I wish I had that still. Yeah. Oh, I've been adding to this. Okay, I didn't start this list in 23. I was going to say, I think these are older. But this one still stands, of kissing and giving in to their romantic feelings because they think they're literally going to die. Yeah, that one annoys me. That one still annoys me. There was a Julie Klassen book. I think it was The Tutor's Daughter. Now, mind you, that's an older one. But I think that one had that. Oh, when the main character says, it was stupid, of course, like their idea. And it's like, so you're not completely oblivious then. That's nice. Oh, kissing her when she's in the middle of a sentence of high emotion. And even in a movie, that makes me mad. That still makes me mad. I haven't seen that too often, but that was a recently published book that had that. Well, recent-ish. Yeah, that one, you've got another thing coming, buddy. I don't like that. Okay, a positive thing is when the main guy doesn't believe in love, that love is only in fairy tales. Like, excuse me, sir, I'm reading a romance book. I can't wait for him to eat those words. And when he does, it's great. Yep. Okay, there's more rants and pet peeves in that folder. At some point, that will become a video on this channel, I'm sure. But those are some I'm tired of seeing. And yeah, I would just like to see stronger faith content in general in Christian fiction. I feel like we're kind of starting to get that in some books, but then other books it's less. Like, it's just clean fiction published by a Christian fiction publisher. Or it's the whole inspirational fiction, which that just makes me want to bang my head into a wall most days, so there's that. That might sound harsh, but it's how I feel. I would also love to see more books that aren't romance heavy based, or just maybe it's a lingering thing. Kind of like how Erin Mangum did with the Carrington Springs series or The Broken Branch. I just want more books by her. That's all I really want. Because they're so well done and I just adore them so much. I am so excited about her new book. If you did not hear about her new book, I don't know how you didn't hear about her new book because I've been squeeing about it since I found out. If you heard a loud squee that day, that was me. That was in fact me. Okay, also, moment of silence. Look how cute the original Mismatched cover is. Look at that bright pink. Look at the spine. It's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, I say. Okay, for another question, let me get these other two pink books on here. Oh, I'm getting very warm in this weather. Okay, and then we have The Governess of Highland Hall. And I think... Oh, wait, there's one that goes over there still. This one makes it really tight. Okay, so honestly, I know this is a bad idea. But I'm just going to stick that one in there. It is so tight. I need to scooch everybody down. I don't want to, have to fix that. So... okay, I'm so tired. Is my tea cool yet? Okay, so that was all of the books for Christian fiction that we needed to add back. I mean, I still need to put Christy Miller back up, but I can do that in a minute. Any advice/encouragement for someone wanting to start a BookTube channel in 2025? Well, welcome! Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Encouragement. Encouragement, welcome! Yay! So glad you're going to join us. The Christian BookTube community is so much fun, and we're dangerous for each other's TBRs, but it's all in great fun, you know. And let's see, advice. I feel like I can come up with advice, but not not good on the spot when filming. I feel like if you message this to me in like a week, I can get you some information, but advice. You don't have to film in front of a bookshelf. That is always fun though, and especially like here, I feel like if you're able to find your niched market, so like if you're going to talk about Christian fiction and you have Christian fiction books behind you, that is always something someone can comment on in the comments and like have that commonality. And you can go, oh my goodness, I see you have this book, I love that book too, kind of thing is always fun. And that's always, that's great. For editing and everything, have fun with it. I know there is probably going to be one part of the process you may not care for, whether that be the filming's not your favorite or the editing's not your favorite. Most people, it's the editing isn't their favorite. Or like the putting all the details together and getting it uploaded and all that. There's typically one part you like a little less. For me, it depends on the day. It depends on the day for me. But just have fun with it and just enjoy it. Amanda from Book Lover, Amanda, she has a video that has a bunch of advice and encouragement. So I'm going to link that in the description. She covers a lot of fantastic things in there. A lot of booktubers, myself included, use Canva for doing thumbnails. And yeah, just reach out anytime if there's a question, if I can see if I can help with anything. But I'll link her video. Definitely let me know though, if you or anyone else watching this, if you start a channel and you talk about Christian fiction or clean fiction, please let me know. I am always behind on my watch later list. Always. But I will get to it eventually and I will be there. I will be there with bells on. I will have missed the whole party, the boat, whatever, going away, whatever the phrase is. I have no brain cells today. I will have missed that, but I will be back at the dock waiting for you, cheering you on. How's that for a little analogy? That was a weak analogy, just like my tea. Oh, I didn't realize someone else asked what was a book that got you into reading. The American Girl books, the Cam Jansen, Mysterious Benedict Society. Yep, definitely those. Okay, one question. Are you dating anyone? If so, does he love reading too? Okay, so this is a question I've kind of gone back and forth about answering, and to me, this is going to sound really weird, so let me explain it. This is kind of a lose-lose situation for me to say, yes, I'm dating someone, or no, I'm not dating someone. Because if I say I'm not, I get creepier comments. Like, I have said that in the past, and the creepy comments kind of go up, and it's, they're not terrible, but they're just annoying. And I don't really like dealing with that. And then there's also the, if I'm not dating anyone, sweet friends on here want to set me up with like their brother, their son, their cousin, their nephew, somebody they know. And that's just a little awkward for me. I'm sorry. It's very awkward for me. Like, I appreciate that you want me to marry into your family. Like, I'm very honored by that. I feel like it might be because you want access to my library. I'm on to you. But yeah, so I don't really answer that. Because then if I also say like, yes, I am dating someone, it's important to realize I have a digital marketing degree. So my brain is constantly thinking of what do I need to do on social media to market. You could say myself, but really BFCG. I am the face of BFCG, I know. And so my brain instantly kind of turns a switch and is like, okay, you've just shared that with the masses. Time to pull him in on a video. And that just doesn't feel... That doesn't feel right. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the, and not, like, right for me. If you have a boyfriend and you've pulled him in, or a fiance, whoever, please know that I am giggling and tickled pink. Like, you and your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, whoever. I think that is so adorable. I'm going to be watching it with just, like, a big smile on my face, because y'all are precious. All of my book friends, guys, seem really good, so that's why I'm saying that. The, side of it for me, though, is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the terms soft launch or hard launch. And a soft launch is, it's more used on Instagram, I think, but like a soft launch is like when you're dating someone and you kind of send like teasing pictures out on your story or on your Instagram profile grid. And it's more of like the longs of like a bouquet of flowers, or like holding someone's hand, or like you're at a dinner and you see like a male silhouette or something. Like, it's very cute. It's very cute. I have friends currently doing that, and I'm just like, this is really cute. Give me the tea. Thank you. And that's cute, but I am way more of like the hard launch that until there's a ring on my finger, you're not getting a space on my social media. I don't know if that makes me sound terrible. That might make me sound terrible, but it's kind of hard because like I try to tell myself only those that watch my videos typically like my videos, but that's not always the case. And these do go out on like the public worldwide internet, and I try not to let myself think about that too much or I'll panic and delete my channel. I'm only slightly kidding on that. So yes, I'm not really going to answer this one. I'm sorry. One day, maybe that will be answered, but for now, I feel like I'm kind of butchering this. I'm sorry. But when you're a content creator and you share so much of your life, it's kind of nice to have something that's just yours as well, and I think that's probably why I lean more into like that hard launch idea. I'm not going to confirm nor deny if I'm dating anyone. Let me just leave it at that. But yeah, there's something, because like even like when I started my reading journal, I didn't post anything about that for a couple months because it was just purely mine. And I know that might sound really weird, and I know some might not get that, but I've been doing BFCG and I've had my life out on the public internet, if you will, certain parts of my life out there for everyone to view. And there's, I don't know, it also goes to like if I introduce this guy and then we broke up, then I have to tell everyone, and that just gets kind of awkward. So I don't really want to put myself in that position either. There's a lot of like little reasons why I'm not going to answer this question. So I apologize. I'm not answering this. It's for privacy reasons, kind of safety reasons as well. And then just my brain will ruin it. That's what my brain will ruin it. It will try to market it, and I don't want to market that kind of thing. I want this to be about books and that kind of thing. So maybe one day I'll share information on that, but for right now, no updates on that. Okay, I'm stalling. We need to organize books, but my tea's finally cold enough to drink. Yay. Let's work on the fantasy section real quick. Okay, so the next plant, my fantasy books. So my clean fantasy, oh wait, let's put Christy back up here. My clean ooh. I feel the heater. Are you kidding me? It's... Oh, this plant looks sad. You're getting the heater. That's what... And you might be like, Lindsay, why is this groundbreaking? Because my room is always freezing. I am constantly in my room freezing. I keep a hoodie, well not a hoodie, a sweatshirt at my desk because when I'm typing on my computer, frozen fingertips. It's all up there. Oh, no wonder these plants have been needing more water. Ooh. I will be discussing that with my mama because that's not a good sign. This is why this plant's been looking sad lately. Yeah, you're completely dry. How are you dry? I just want... Huh. I'm sorry. Poor thing. Okay, let me move you for the time being. Okay, as I was saying, I have basically 2 shelves of clean fiction. I don't really want to put anybody that high up because then I can't get to them. But that's what we're going to have to do. So I guess we will start and put the Deborah Grace White and Melanie Sellier books up there, even though I love them right here. I'll put the picture I took of them. Isn't that beautiful, all of them together? So pretty. I don't want to move them. Can I not? That would be a bad idea. But I do need to film a video with some of them, so maybe I should just like stick them here for the time being. Would that be weird? Just move them up? It's my bookshelf. I can do what I want. Let's see how that looks. They're so pretty. Unfortunately though, well, unfortunately, I've just read Deborah Grace White's, her other trilogy that is connected to one of these. So I kind of want to put them here, but they aren't fairy tale retellings. And all of these are. So I'm kind of torn on what to do with that. And then this literally is just enough space until Melanie Sellier's newest book coming out, I think, shortly. Have you spotted the cookies on my shelf? Shh. Shh. You saw nothing. Until that comes out, because then I have to totally revamp all this. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be rearranging things again. I always try to have my clean fiction and my Christian fiction separated. But I really love seeing these. And honestly, y'all, I've paid money for these books. Like, I paid good money for these books. So I kind of just want to stare at them better. Yeah. Like that. I like that. I really like that. I think it looks nice. Alright, now let's move up again. Okay, so we have... I kind of have these organized by size more than anything. We're adding Chromatic by Ashley Bustamante to finish out the trilogy. We're putting back this book, A Lonely Dance. I want to have these probably off to the side on their own. And I don't know how to organize all of these. Okay, so here's my... Hi. Hello. My problem is Christmas books. Do y'all mix them in with their genre, or do you put Christmas books separately? Because here I've got Christmas books together, but with Christian fiction I always have them separate. So I don't know how I feel about that. I really truly don't. Ooh, way it's warm up here. So this is where my heat's been going. You need more water than... No, you feel fine. You feel fine. It's hot up here. Okay, but then I have some sci-fi books, so I'm probably going to have to move... Wow, even this is warm. Oh my goodness, I can't get... It is so warm. How is my heater doing this? I'm going to have to adjust that because that's insanity. Oh, and it fits perfectly. Beautiful, my friends, beautiful. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, for clean historical fiction, I've just got a small stack. And I've kind of already organized them, but I actually need to add these back in. I'm getting a workout over here. We're kind of just organizing by what feels good. Yeah, that feels good. It already looks so much better. It's so nice. Okay, now, not this part. This is the part we are going to work on. So, what do we have left? We have this stack, these books, and this books. So, I'm not, how do I want to do this? Okay, so the Myrtle books, I'm going to be putting elsewhere over there. This one will probably also go there. That's going to be another day's project. A Little Princess will go maybe in that same area. I don't know. I've got to rearrange. I've got to rearrange my headboard bookshelves now that I no longer have the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. I'm going to sneeze, but because of that, so I've got a little room, so I think I might add in some middle grade books over there. Is my thought. Maybe we'll do that. I'm gonna sneeze. Man. Let's go with another question. If you could pick any country outside of the U.S. to live in, which country would you pick? I am a very happy Texas girly. I really, truly am. Family-wise, everything-wise, I really love living in Texas. So I can't say, like, there's any place that would entice me away from Texas. I have always thought about like living for a bit in a country like China or South Korea. I was going to study abroad in South Korea, as some of y'all know. I was there for a little bit. I got so homesick though. I returned. So I think I'm a Texas girly. I feel like the UK would be pretty easy to handle, but I'm pretty American in all reality, and I'm very Texan. So I think I'd stay mostly in Texas if I can. Lord willing. Another fun question, what are some topics / hobbies you enjoy outside of reading? Well, I'm a big health nerd. I really am. I love researching about healthy living and nutrition and all the nerdy things like that. I really like doing that. But then I also enjoy gardening, and I've always loved learning different languages. Korean has been one I've adored for years and has kind of been my main focus of a foreign language. And then crafting wise, I just like trying crafts. I like any kind of craft. So I have my reading journal that's kind of along the lines of scrapbooking. And then I do macrame. I feel like I've done almost every craft project there is except stained glass. Like actual stained glass. I've done like the faux stained glass with like the little liquid gel. I loved doing that. And I'd love to get back into that. But I do not need another hobby because hobbies cost money. So, on that. What else do I like to do? Gardening, plants, hanging out with my family. Yeah. Mainly reading though. Reading is definitely the thing that gets the majority of my time when it comes to like hobbies or interests or whatever. Because like I do make money off of these videos. So by y'all watching these videos, that really does help. So thank you. I do appreciate that. This, just as a little note. So I do give a lot of time to doing that for that reason, but also because I love it. I love doing BFCG. I love finding good books and recommending good books. I don't really love warning people about bad books, but it is part of what I signed up for in that regard. So yeah. Yeah, those are some of my hobbies. Okay, so one thing I've always done is kept my guidepost books separated. So that would be this series, and this book is the start. Is that right? Wait, is Showstopper? I don't remember which number this is. Oh no, it goes like this then. So I typically always keep these separated because like at the very top of my bookshelf, if you notice, I have those two shelves on this side, and those are guidepost books, and I think at some point we are going to have to move those and like intersperse them in so I can have those shelves. But that's not going to happen today, and I don't really know what to do with this. I don't feel like they'll fit in that spot that's left. So these are my two guidepost series that I have fully read, reviewed, and enjoy. I am standing on my tippy toes. Alright, well, that handled that right there. Don't those look pretty? Nice, those are done. Okay, and then we have these books. So let's maybe organize them by color. I'm trying to, how many Christmas books are here? Just this one? Okay, just this one. We're going to put this one with the Christmas books in a minute. And we have so we're going to add like a half a shelf of books. I'm really torn on how to do this series because now where am I supposed to put those? I don't know. So I'm kind of tempted they're just going to get stacked off to the side. Maybe because like that's why I have these three here. I don't know what to do with those. I really don't. So we have half a stack of books to add. So that means that plant is going to have to move. Bummer. As you can tell, I use the other side of the plant for all my jewelry when I'm filming. Gonna have to move all these. Okay, so if we're moving this plant, we'll move it right here for the time being. Why do you have a yellow leaf? So we have about half a shelf of books we have to add by the end of this. I also thought it would have been more. So I guess we will just scooch everybody down as we start the progress, you know, and begin. So let's have another question. And that would be, what is your top favorite trope and why? And Reese over at The Writing Songbird asked this. I really like the friends to more trope. I really do. I just think it's so sweet, so cute, and it adds in a way more natural side to the romance. Okay, so now we have one thing here. In the last. I know I want this one somewhere here, but I don't know where I want to put it exactly. Yeah. Do we like that? It's dark. That's why I'm leaning towards putting it there. And then elsewise for here, we've got like... This life of mine is going to be really tricky to do, I think. So part of me just wants to put them in order there, but that would defeat the purpose, Lindsay. It could go maybe in this area. Let's find out. Another question. Have you ever read anything by Karen Kingsbury? She's a well-known Christian fiction author. I have read 15 Minutes, I think, back at the very beginning of when I started BFCG. So like 10 years ago. When it came out, I read that one. And I can't honestly remember what I thought about it. I know I didn't love it. But I also see her books, and like, I think it's Hallmark or GAF has been advertising one of the movies that's going to be based off of one of her more recent books. And I just look at that, and I'm just like, that looks heartbreaking. Like, I'm sure there's a hope and redemption by the end of it, but it looks like your heart's going to be out of your chest, and you're going to have to put it back in at the end of the movie. I can't do that. I don't want that. Plus, she just has so many. She has so many. I'm overwhelmed by the thought of even thinking of trying to find out where to begin. I'm not really interested. I don't know. They seem like they're very, I don't want to say women's fiction because that makes it sound like I'm against that. But, like, I don't know. The ones I've read the back covers of, they've never really interested me. So, I haven't read them. And she has so many. She cranks them out. And they all look like emotionally distressing. There's the phrase, emotionally distressing. So, I have heard of her. I think I've only read like 1 or 2 of her books. Maybe that. I know one. I know I read 15 Minutes. I don't know if I read another one. I know there's the Baxter Kids series. And that sounds maybe more up my alley. That maybe sounds more up my alley, so maybe I'll try that at some point, but probably, I don't know, can you read that series and not have read the actual Baxter books? I don't know. If you've read that, let me know, because I'm not sure. Okay, so for this one, I kind of would love to stick it in here, but does that look weird? Does that look weird? Where do we want this life of mine? I know it's kind of like a... It's really hard to include these two because they're like a lighter color. Do you see my problem I have with this part here? I'm not quite sure. Oh, I need to grab the bay leaves from the kitchen real quick, everyone. So let me get that because we need to add more bay leaves in. Bay leaves. A book person's favorite item. There is not many in here. I meant to buy more of these. This is for keeping silverfish away. I'm just going to stick a leaf behind my book. We're going to refresh some of these too because I did them when we did my bookshelf, but that was not quite a year ago. Okay, and then we have, I told you I wasn't well, is it somehow? Maybe there? I think that's decent enough. I really, though, would like to pull, now that, because if y'all remember last time we did this, I had to move that because it was right against the bookshelf and that wasn't going to work. But I prefer to have it as my divider. Okay, we do have some darker books. This is a great one. This is a great one. I want to try to keep some of these, oops, y'all can't see what I'm doing. I want to try to keep some of these on the looser side too, so like I can easily pull them out and I'm not fighting for my fingertips and against the spine trying to pull them out. There. Oh, y'all can't see. Y'all are too far away. The starlit sky, it kind of stands out, I feel like. But that's only if you pay really close attention. I'm not aiming for perfection here. I've learned to give that up when it comes to my bookshelf and doing them in a rainbow order. Okay, one other question is, do you ever read and review indie books? Yes, all the time. Oh, I hear a beagle. But yes, to answer your question, I do read and review indie books very often. I have a contact page on BFCG, so feel free to check that out. Let me know if you have any questions. Some things are a little more flexible than others, but certain ones are non-negotiable. And you'll probably be able to figure that out from going to the page. Okay, and this is when we get the fun part of having to reverse everything. Get the fun part of reversing things. So another question that was asked, this might be one of the last ones, if not the last one, I'll have to double check, was if I'm going to attempt reading more Jane Austen after trying Emma. Yes, I will try more Jane Austen. These are actually backwards anyway, so I'm going to fix them so they're in numbered order. I already drive people crazy enough with my rainbow shelves, so might as well make sure they're at least somewhat right. I do plan on trying Jane Austen's other books because I own them in pretty editions. That is the reason, and that is the only reason at this point. I feel like though there's got to be one that I'll like. There has to be. I feel like there has to be. So yes, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments of which ones I should read next. I've read Emma. It was not a hit, to say the least. Oh wait, am I okay, no, we got Pale Pinks coming up. I'm just like moving everybody and forgetting we have books to add. We get to add in the Broken Branch. I'm so excited. Then I also have a really pale pink Dawn in the Letters. I don't know where I like this one. I feel like it's too bright. Well, it's I don't know where to put Dawn in the Letters. This is when I wish I was doing a live stream of this so y'all could go, put it there, Lindsay, no, put it there. Okay, we also have like a purple and I don't know what color we call that, purple and like a magenta-y purple. Okay, I'm afraid I am moving these over too much. I feel like we've got a lot of space for how many books that are left. So we may have to do like a quick little bloop and move everybody back like I've done before. Oh, sorry. I forgot to move the camera. I really like how that purple hue is. How that goes in. It looks a little more nicer, I feel like, in person than on camera. It looks a little stark of a difference. But it actually blends in really nice, I think. So let's continue on with these purples. So like I've done in other videos where I have a bunch of books to add, some of these the cameras will move with them if it can for that in-between spot. And then some of them, because I don't really like have a book where I really like I don't really like this book backed up against this one because this is much darker and moodier. And this is more of a true purple, so I prefer to keep them with the camera separating them. But then earlier with the blacks and the golds, I moved that back where I originally had it. So we'll see how that goes when we get done. Well, you know, looking at how many books we have left, this might be about right. So this might work out. Okay. This is one I want to reread. This is one I want to reread. Carol Cox. Carol Cox. I feel like she's such an underrated author. She only wrote, I think, 3 books with Bethany House, but I really enjoyed them, so I'm hoping I can maybe get to rereading the 2 I haven't read in a while. Love in Disguise, y'all have probably heard me talk about. She wrote that one, and I really like that one. And I remember liking her other 2. Truth Be Told is the other one. And look at the back cover. It's at a newspaper company, and I think that's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. So I want to reread that one. And I remember they were historical mysteries. And I've been asked about historical mystery recommendations lately. So I need to reread those, and I think I would still really enjoy them and then share about them. Okay, for blues, before I get carried away here, what do we have? What do we have? This one's going to go in that area. This one I kind of want in this area, and then this one, this one's going to go on the top shelf section. So let's... My camera stopped recording. I don't remember what I was saying. I was going to put Tapestry of Grace over with the light blues because you would think that would fit, but it doesn't. It's too dark for those. So I see why I have it here. Funny fact about this one is it actually was green, but now it's faded blue, so that's why it's here with the blues. It's always so sad when book spines fade. I went to a bookstore, and I think I've told you all this story, where all the Christian fiction section was right up front. All the spines were white and blue because of they all faded. It was so sad. It still just like sends a cord of fear through my heart. It really does. Okay, I think I know Noble Grace. Yeah, I think I like that there better. Jupiter Winds, Jupiter Storm, and then the novella Under the Wire. I am going to reread those this year. I already know it. That's happening. It better happen at least. Okay, and then I think that was all the questions, but I do know I had one more that was a message, and that was, how did you start your blog? Let's see, I started BFCG when the year I turned 14, just before my 14th birthday, and so that was 2013. I was born in 99, and I remember I laugh about this because of not what I'm fixing to say, but what I'll say after that, is I had just read a nasty, gross Christian YA book, and I remember just like ranting to the Lord in a prayer, like, why can't there be a website that will share what the content is of a book? Because if I can't trust Christian fiction books, what can I trust? And that's why I laugh, because now I know even more so, yeah, well, not every Christian fiction book is suitable for teens, and some of them, my card was full again, sorry about that, I don't know where it cut me off, but I laugh now at that because, number one, I still rant to the Lord, to my mom and my Lord. Those are the two people I rant to. And then I've learned even more so now that, like, not every Christian fiction book is suitable to teens, and it's not, some of them aren't even just suitable, period. Like, there should be trigger warnings. And so I just had that still voice come over, and it's like, you can do it, I'll be with you. And as they say, the rest is history. As they say, yeah, that's it. It was definitely a prompting from the Lord. It's been a passion from the Lord. And that was one thing, is like, I knew it was going to be a bigger responsibility. So I prayed about it and kind of like gathered making reviews and like kind of practicing and researching things, and spent some time doing all of that before it got launched, because BFCG was launched April 9th, 2013. And I started prepping for it in January of that year. And I wanted to like post 3 times a week, and I did. Man, I kept that schedule for a few years into BFCG, where I posted 3 times a week. Now I'm happy if I do 2 new reviews a week, but that was a time. That was a time doing 3 reviews a week. And it's been a wonderful blessing. To myself, it's definitely given me a passion and an interest. There have definitely been some crummy books I have had to read, or I've read because of reviewing them. But if it warns someone else about the potential triggering content, I think that's worth it. My mom would disagree, because she doesn't want me to read, the crummy books, which I agree. I don't want to read the crummy books either, but you don't really know until you get into the book, and I think what's been beautiful in seeing BFCG and hearing about how many girls and readers and families it's helped, and I have a note on my phone. If you've sent me a sweet message, there's a screenshot of it there, because there will be days I will look through that when I am feeling bogged down by emotions, and typically that doesn't happen too often. Back in the beginning of BFCG, there was some rough days and comments and just hatefulness that happened, and it's not really even from those that like, if you don't understand the mission of BFCG of knowing the content of a book and deciding if it's right for you or not, like if you're not a Christian viewing my reviews, you're gonna think they're crazy, and like you're gonna have strong opinions, and you probably are gonna leave icky comments, and those don't bother me. But it's the ones like from other Christians that have been ugly over the time. Those are the ones that just like, it's like, Lord, they just don't get it. Why don't they get it? And that's something he's definitely worked on me a lot with. And the whole pearls before the swine, I love that scripture. That is one, and like there's been different ones with BFCG that have just like stayed with me, but that's in the top 5. That's on the top 5. So yeah, that's kind of the short story long. I did make a video though, I don't know how many years ago. I've been making these videos, I think 8 years now. I think YouTube told me that in January. It's been 8 years, which is crazy to think about, because BFCG will be turning 12 in April, which is just crazy to think about. I've been doing this for 12 years. So that is also a no. If you see my bookshelf and you're like, Lindsey, how do you have so many books? It's years and years of collecting and whittling down and trying to find the best. And there's still some here that I'm looking through as we do this, going, you probably could be on the chopping block. If I run out of room, you're on the chopping block kind of thing, because I just want to keep books I really liked and enjoy. So with that, let's continue on. I think we just have a few more. I think that's the end of the questions, though. Let me double check. Yep, okay, I think... Oh, wait, no. Oh, I got asked questions before when I was going to do a Q&A, and then I had to scrap that video for different reasons, but I still have those. Let me find them. Here they are, from May 2023. I'm sorry. I recognize some of these names, though, so I know some of y'all still watch my stuff. Do you think you'll ever rearrange your bookshelves out of rainbow order? Probably not, because it makes me happy. I really like it. What is your favorite song at the moment, or even of all time? Of all time, I don't know. I really like Ophelia Wilde's stuff for instrumental. I've been listening to a lot of hers. But then for contemporary Christian, the song I've had on repeat a lot lately has been Josiah Queen's Can't Steal My Joy, and I think that's featuring Brandon Lake. I'm not really familiar with Brandon Lake, I don't think. I probably know some of his popular stuff, but I really like Josiah Queen, the ones I've heard from him. And then I'm writing a Christian fiction book. What advice do you have for me? What should I keep in mind? Well, number one, that's exciting. You might still be writing it. You might be done with it by the time I have now answered your question. I'm so sorry. What would I ask you to keep in mind? To pray. Pray, let the Lord guide your writing. Build a community of other writer friends that have that as a similar goal, to honor the Lord with your writing. Yeah, that would be my advice. If you want more writing stuff, maybe check out the Glory Writers on Instagram. They are fantastic. And then another one, how do you know God is okay or approves of you reading? And I assume that means of what you're reading, like what is okay. And I think that's a conviction thing that comes from the Holy Spirit. And the only way you can really be attuned to hearing the Holy Spirit and that conviction prompting, if you will, that poking, will be if you're in your Bible. So that, for me, if I read something and I'm feeling uncomfortable, it is usually because of a content concern or something the Lord has convicted me on. So if that maybe answers that. And then, what is your favorite fantasy or sci-fi book? Well, since you've asked that question a long time ago, I'm so sorry. I have posted the favorite fiction books video. And would I add any from there that we just put up there? Callie and the Pumpkin Seed. Adored that one. That's fantasy. Sci-fi, I have 5 on my shelf, really, and I don't know. I'm still kind of torn on those. Wait, am I doing this backwards? I just put back the ones I just did, didn't I? Do you watch TV? If so, what are your favorite TV shows or movies? I'm really not a big TV person personally. I like the classics from my generation, like Kim Possible. And what else did I like? I like Totally Spies, but watching that one now, it's like, oh, maybe I don't like that one as much. And then H2O, Mako Mermaids, those were classics. But honestly, I don't rewatch those, but like once in a blue moon. So like current TV shows, I don't really watch TV. I really don't. I spend my time on YouTube, and then for movies, Frozen and Tangled are always going to be 2 that I just will watch. Like they can be half over. They can be the last 5 minutes of the movie. If it's on TV, I'm turning it on. And unfortunately, I still remember all the words to the lyrics and everything. We watched, we caught Frozen from the beginning the other day. They were playing it on TV. And I was like 95% accuracy rate on the lines and songs. It was great. My mom was impressed. My dad was horrified. But then, let's see, other TV shows. I watch a lot of like Korean dramas, or like I used to. I haven't watched one in a while. My favorite would still be Shopping King Louie. And then She Was Pretty. I really like that one. And then another one I like that like I'll give a caveat that there is content I don't like would be While You Were Sleeping. Not the movie with what's her face and what's his face, but this is the poster of it. I like that one because of like the suspense and the what if and the kind of fantasy elements, but there is stronger language. And that's the problem with a lot of Korean dramas, is they'll translate stronger cussing, when in reality, like, the person just said, like, you know, like, if you stub your toe and you just went, ah, it's like that kind of thing, and that bugs me a lot with translators. That's one thing. And I watch a few Korean variety shows, but I'm so behind on those, so I can't really consider that I watch those. So yeah, I don't really watch TV. I watch YouTube. And I'm still really behind at that too. Rebecca asked, what are some of the books you own that have been translated into Korean? Oh. Mysterious Man Society. I have the Korean editions. That's it. The English edition, traditional, original, first edition, and then the Korean edition. And it's Benedict's Secret Club is the title, translated into Korean. It is a huge difference. And they never translated the 3rd book or the prequel story into Korean. So I feel really bad for Korean kids that loved this book. I also know Calculated by Nova McBee was translated into Korean, but I haven't read that one yet. I'm hoping to get to that series this year, but I haven't read it, so I don't really know. So that is probably, besides like the Bible, that is probably the only one I had that was translated into Korean. Like English into Korean. Because I don't really read a lot of bigger secular books that would be popular enough to translate. So, yeah, fun question though. Someone asked, how can you stand to have your series separated? You'll learn to love the color more than order. That's what I'm gonna say to that right there. Sometimes it bugs me, and like I love seeing on Instagram when a series is completed and somebody always takes a picture of them all together. I'm just like, wow, they're so pretty. Well, okay, back to my colored organization. And it's true, that's just, I love this. It's so happy and makes me smile, and it's so pretty. Like, look at this and tell me this isn't pretty. Let us get done and try to tell me that. I think that was those. Okay, but then there was some on a Instagram post that Rebecca asked, what is one of the first books you remember that you read loving? Oh, I answered that one. Good me. Good job me. Good job, Rebecca, re-asking me that. What is your favorite book from this year so far? Well, this was 2023. So I don't know about for 2023, but for 2025, I've read Deborah Grace White's The Singer Tales, and the last book of that one was really good. And then, what else did I recently read that I really liked? Oh, Just Ella. I'm going to talk about this one for February's wrap-up, but Just Just Ella by Annette K. Larson. 4.5-ish stars. It was really good, I have to say. Like, it has that YA angst, but in like a princessy setting. It's not fairy tale, but princessy, and the forbidden love trope, and the male lead's a gardener. It was great, but I was stressed, like good stress, but bad stress, and just stressed in general. I've also been reading, I just finished this one, Sarah Baran's Summer of the Summoned Sword. This is book 2 in this series. I'm really enjoying this series. It's giving Pixie Hollow vibes. I gave this one 4.5 stars. The main couple was adorable. Let me shock you at another level. It was a marriage of convenience, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Groundbreaking in my world. So yeah, those would probably be for that. And then, no, you're not a huge movie person, but do you have a favorite movie or TV show? So we kind of just answered that. But another movie I really like is The Ugly Dachshund and That Darn Cat, the old Disney ones. Nancy Drew 2007, classic. I will watch that and be enthralled like a 2-year-old watching the Weather Channel. That movie is everything. And what was that? I really did like the Wind Calls the Heart movie. We watched that a couple months ago again, and that was really good. I was reminded how good that was. I also still like a lot of the Barbie movies. Like the original Barbie Princess Charm School. Classic. Mainly it's all the ones from my childhood. It's a lot of the ones from my childhood. I don't really watch new movies. I'm not good at keeping up with movies. And then I think the last question would be, where is one place you'd love to travel to? I would like to just travel. At this point, I'm too exhausted to travel. But it would be fun to travel. I would love to see the cherry blossoms in the springtime. That was one thing I was really looking forward to when I was supposed to study abroad. And that was like one thing I was going to cross off. So I still would love to do that. South Korea, Japan, Washington, D.C. I really don't care at this point. I would just love to see cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. And where else would I like to travel? I'd like to go visit my Nana in England. I think that would be fun. Norway looks beautiful, so I think I'd want to visit Norway. I'm fine with really anywhere, as long as it's not cold. As long as I don't go when it's cold and I can wear like cute frilly dresses and flowery dresses and like see fields of flowers. I'm fine with that. I have some good friends in Idaho that tell me that y'all have lupins as wildflowers. I'm sold. I don't have to go to New Zealand to see fields of lupins. I can just go to Idaho. So I'm going to go visit some Idaho friends. Wink, wink. And yeah, there we go. Not really too many places on my list. I'm going to have to renew my passport into the year. That's weird. I'm going to lose my visa I had from China in there. So, there we go. Those are the questions. We're not done with this project, though. Quit yapping, Lindsay. Get back to work. Okay, what happened to the one that went up there? This one. I think I want to put my refuge. Look at this pretty cover. Okay, and then for green, we just have Meeting Her Match, which is kind of like a lighter green. Meeting Her Match. I think I want it more closer to this way. Gotta be careful I don't grab the plant. Alright, this one is gonna be tricky. That one's going to be tricky, but let's scooch the camera over again. Remember I thought I said I had too much room? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I squeeze it in? Oh no, it's just pretty red. Oh no, this is, oh no. And the weird thing about a lot of these is they are that banana peel that I can't stand. Yeah, and this is, let me pull this one off for a minute. A bunch of them are the banana peel cover, where like it's that, I don't know if the proper term is matte or what, but they're really hard to slide in. They don't slide in, they take the other two books with them. Oh, let's do this. So much for making a shelf not be hard to get into. There. Alright, let's clean some things up now. And here we are, my friends. It is organized. It looks much better. I still have plenty of room. This plant I'm just going to leave there for the time being. These are books that I have to discuss with y'all. I'm going to have to figure out about my heater. Not the heater, the vent. Because it's blowing directly on the plant up there. So I'm going to have to revamp that. But I think we're done. I'm beyond exhausted. I am beyond exhausted. I really am. Oops, camera moved. There we go. Look. Look how beautiful. It looks lovely. It looks beautiful. Yay! We got done. Thank you all so much for joining me for this video. Sorry I talked y'all's ear off, but thanks for asking me Q&A questions. It added a lot of fun to this video, I think. We are officially now, next Christian fiction book I read and keep is going to be Pushing Everybody Down, where we start on the next row. Eventually, I will move these up, but I honestly don't have the energy nor the strength nor the will to put them up there right now. So we're not going to do that. We're just not going to do that. But that is the end of this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for joining me. I will see y'all next time. I'm not sure what my next video is going to be, in all honesty. I want to tier rank some Kindle Unlimited books I read last year, like I did for the prior year, because that was really fun. I would love to do that again. So we might do that, but I've got to organize the rest of my room that y'all don't typically see on camera. I'd have to organize that. So I'm going to work on that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see y'all next time. Okay, I'm going to let y'all go though before I just keep talking your ear off. I am Lindsey from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where there is a new review every Wednesday and Friday. I try to post a new video on this channel every Friday. I'm also on Instagram under 2 different accounts. So feel free. One is just for Christian fiction, one is for clean and Christian fiction and kind of the highlights of my reading. And then I'm also on TikTok, Goodreads, Facebook, all the many places to talk about books here, there, and everywhere. I hope you have an absolutely lovely rest of your day. Bye, y'all.